Hi guys, so I'm here with Owen, and Owen's from the UK. We just had a conversation about the social enterprise ecosystem in Nigeria, and had an extensive conversation about how we can improve that and how to make the ecosystem work. And I just have Owen share some thoughts as to what he thinks about the ecosystem and how we should be developing.
Yeah, I think there's four or five things really, which coming from my background with the British Council and the Global Social Enterprise Programme, we really try and focus on in relation to social enterprise and how that can be built as a movement and a sector for doing business more responsibly. And I think so one would be a policy-making environment that supports social enterprises to thrive. And I think there's a big role for policymakers, not only in terms of service provision, but also in terms of regulation that supports that to happen. Number two, I think, is in terms of investment and funding and finance. Through all our reports, one of the number one challenges, as you can imagine, that's identified by social enterprises is a lack of capital. I think in a lot of cases there is capital and there is funding that's locked up in different places, and there is a commitment from people who have that capital to invest it in a way that has public benefit. I think a lot of the question is about just ensuring that the infrastructure and architecture is in place that people can trust and which channels funding to the places of need effectively and in a transparent process. Thirdly, I think education systems are really key, and I'm thinking about education systems from the very earliest stage, really, from primary school all the way up to higher education. I think there's a massive need for people to think differently if they're going to become the really effective social entrepreneurs of tomorrow, in terms of critical thinking, in terms of social innovation, in terms of the role that business might play in terms of achieving impact. So I think starting early in quite thought out ways with curriculum that build that knowledge and understanding is really vital. Fourthly, I think there is a role around capacity building. And I think that's further down the line when social entrepreneurs really actually are ready. They have a great idea, they want to start a business, but they just need the support, not necessarily financial support, but they need the ongoing support and continuity of support that takes them through from ideation stage to a scaled enterprise that is able to employ lots of people, has significant social impact. And finally, I guess a key strand of the ecosystem that's interesting for social enterprises to thrive is robust data and evidence, which really highlights where the kind of key impact challenges are and how business might play a role in addressing that. And that evidence and data is useful to social enterprises, it's useful to policymakers, it's also useful to consumers who can use their purchasing power to have make informed choices about what to buy, about where to vote, and so on and so forth, in a way that will enable social enterprises and impact economies more broadly to thrive.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, cheers.
Yeah, and while we're talking, Chidudum walked in, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so she made this meeting happen, so thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Cheers.